The following is a production of WCMP Sports. It's time for a basketball matchup here on WCMP Cool Country. Tip-off will begin shortly. We'll head to the court now for the pregame.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's basketball game here on 106.5 FM, AM 1350, WCMPradio.com. I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman, and I'll be bringing you all the action from tonight's boys basketball game between the homestanding Rush City Tigers and the visiting Hope Academy Lions. This game being broadcast on 106.5 FM, AM 1350, and of course live with video on our website at WCMPradio.com. Should be a fun one here this evening. Both teams finally getting a game in. Both these teams did have games scheduled during the week, but as we all know, especially up here, not so much down in the cities. They did get a little bit of snow last night, but down or up here during the week, we got a bunch of snow. Kind of got the winter wonderland that you like to have for Christmas. So it's definitely gonna be a white Christmas for everybody who likes that. I know some people leave for the winter, so they're not such a fan. But for those of us who are here, it's gonna be a white Christmas, and honestly, I miss white Christmases. We've had so many Christmases where there's barely just a dusting of snow. I love white Christmases. I love having them to where you got a bunch of snow on the ground, and it builds up a little bit, and you have to kind of trudge through it. I don't know. It's nostalgic a little bit. But here in tonight's game, we do have the Rush City Tigers and the Hope Academy Lions. It should be a fun one. These two have been literally waiting all week for this. I think everybody had school on Monday, and then it was Tuesday, Wednesday, and even yesterday. We had no school and no high school activities happening. Of course, Tuesday, I was extremely lucky enough to be able to call a game up there at Hinckley Finlayson High School between the Jaguars and the Ogilvie Lions girls basketball teams. So I was lucky enough to get up to go up there and call a game. But again, these two teams have been waiting all week for this one. Hope Academy has made the trip up from Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they are certainly ready for tonight's game. As we take a look at both of these teams, the Rush City Tigers come into this contest with a 2-1 record, averaging about 66 points per game. They give up about 51 points per game. They're on a 2-game win streak. They lost their first game of the season to St. Croix Central 67-53, but then after that, they went on the road to face a conference opponent in Ogilvie, in which they won 77-35. Then they came back home to take on another conference opponent in Bram, and they won that game as well, 69-51. And now they get to face off against Hope Academy, who, as we take a look at them, they are in Section 4, Class Single A, so a Class A school. Again, that all depends on enrollment for what class you are in. But Hope Academy sits at 1-2. They score about 68 and 69 points per game and give up about 74. So when you look at it between the two teams, averages-wise, Hope Academy does score more points than Rush City per game, but they give up more per game as well, about 23 points more per game. As we take a look at Hope Academy, as again, they are 1-1 in their section of Class 4A. They lost their season opener to Trinity School, which actually was a very close one, 69-61. Then they came home to take on Chesterton Academy, in which they won 99-54. That's a pretty sizable victory, but then they went to Kenyon, Minnesota to take on Kenyon Wanamingo, and they lost that game pretty handedly, 100-46. They were supposed to play against Belle Plaine yesterday. Of course, that didn't happen, so they were unable to play a home game. So instead, they have to come on the road up to Rush City, Minnesota. It's about an hour drive, I'd say, especially with the bus, especially with the roads. Just probably a little bit slippery because of the fact that the snow and rain that fell the past couple days has melted and now probably frozen again because of the dropping temperatures here last night and tonight, as we get into more probably seasonable weather here over the weekend and next week. I mean, next week's just going to be bitterly cold. It's going to be disgusting, honestly. But Hope Academy 1-2 on the year. They're looking to get back on track here tonight against the Rush City Tigers. It was a victory in the JV game for Hope Academy. I did not catch the final score, but Hope Academy did get the victory. I think it was a 2-point victory, if I remember correctly. So not anything crazy. It wasn't a blowout by any means. And in fact, Rush City was down by 9 late in that JV game, and they were able to come back and make it a contest. And it was a pretty fun one to watch. We got about 4.5 minutes here before we get tip-off underway here inside Rush City High School at Rush City, Minnesota, where the Tigers are looking to take on the Hope Academy Lions. Of course, Rush City in a very tough section. They're in Class AA, and they sit in Section 6 of Class AA, and this is probably one of the tougher sections to be in. You've got Sauk Center, Melrose, Albany, Mora, Malacca, Annandale, and Osakis in there, as well as St. Cloud Cathedral and Holdingford. Now, I mentioned those teams. You might be wondering why. And I mentioned those teams because all of them were in the playoffs last year, and I seen 4 of those teams at the section semifinals and 2 of them at the section championships. That was Sauk Center, Melrose, and Albany, along with Mora. I saw those 4 teams in the semifinals, and then was it the quarterfinals? Golly, now I don't remember. I think it might have been the quarterfinals. Now I don't remember. Gosh darn it. Oh, well, it was the quarterfinals, semifinals, and then the finals, something like that. But I did see those 4 teams compete, and my goodness, those 4 teams were fun as all get out to watch last year in the playoffs over at St. John's University. That was such a treat to be able to go out there, number one, but to watch it as well. It was so fun to see, and we also I got to watch Osakis play. I forgot who they were playing, but I got to watch them play in a game. I think it was Uppsala. No, it couldn't have been Uppsala. I don't know. It was someone, but I got to watch them play a game, and, man, it was so entertaining. But these teams, year in and year out, are towards the top of the section, and they're all usually battling for that top spot, or top 3, or fighting to stay in the top 5. But there's really no bad spot because any one of these teams that you play in this section is going to be very good. Now, Pine City's 0-2, Maple Lake's 0-2, and they might be having down years, but excuse me, I had to clear my throat. Even if they are having quote-unquote down years, they're still dangerous teams. And when you play teams in your section, it's always going to be a battle because those games are so important. So those teams are going to know, hey, this is a game in which we have to play our best and even better than our best. So they know what's at stake. Of course, Mora right now statistically has the best advantage. They've only played 1 game, but they have the best advantage. In their first game, they beat Maple Lake 93-13. It was incredible to watch. Albany with the second best at 85-45. They won their first game by a 40-point margin. But yeah, it should be a fun section once again this year. Rush City's 2-1. And they should be a fun team to watch as well this year. I'm looking, again, this section is going to be tough to play in. No matter who you're playing in the section, it's going to be tough. They have to play Malacca. They have to play Pine City twice. They have to play Mora. They have to play Foley. They have to play Spectrum. Those are the section teams that Rush City has to play this year, and each one of those games is going to be a battle. But if you want to get a good seeding in the playoffs, those are the games that you're going to have to win, because when it comes to playoff time, that is something that they take into consideration, is your section record. Now, a lot of these games are going to be, Malacca, again, Pine City, each one of those games is going to be tough, but I say the toughest one on there is definitely Mora, which looks like has been rescheduled to February 16th here in Rush City. So definitely going to be a tough matchup there between those two teams, but it should be fun. That's going to be a late season matchup, and that should be a really good one depending on how these two teams are. Hopefully healthy. That is the biggest thing that we wish for all the teams that we watched compete, is that they are healthy come playoff times and healthy throughout the entire season. Looks like we're just getting ready for our national anthem and our starting lineup, so we'll take a commercial break here, word from our fine sponsors, and when we come back, we will be ready for tip-off here inside Rush City High School as you're listening to boys basketball on 106.5 FM, AM 1350, WCMP.
No appointment? No problem. Injuries and feeling ill don't always happen during normal business hours. That's why Wellia Health has urgency services open 7 days a week. Urgency Services in Pine City offers the care you need when you need it. Hours are now 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. No need to call or make an appointment. Just stop in. When tomorrow isn't soon enough and normal business hours just won't do, you can count on Wellia Health to be there for you. Live life well at Wellia Health.
Since 1967, Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley, has been where to go for all your building projects. Let Gerald Schmidt help you with designing, remodeling, or any new construction. Schmidt Construction specializes in residential home building, agricultural, industrial, and commercial buildings. With expert advice on all of your building projects and ideas, when you hire a contractor to take care of your building needs, you can't do better than Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley. 320-384-7901.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a 4-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
It's time to start pushing snow. Sorry, just the messenger. Thankfully, Minnesota Equipment in Isanti has affordable machines to do the heavy lifting. Any size property. Toro and Aaron's walk behind snow blowers. Oh, you got land, huh? How about John Deere lawn and garden tractors? Or a compact utility tractor? Minnesota Equipment has them in stock. Snow removal doesn't have to be backbreaking. Not if you get into Minnesota Equipment. Highway 65 in Isanti. Or visit minnesotaequipment.com.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. Well, you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franzen Bank and Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride, like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franzen Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzenbank.com/getThere. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Most Americans do not have a proper will or estate plan in place. Many of you listening have been putting off that important task for a long time. Stop waiting and contact Spear & Swanson today. Spear & Swanson can help you put together a tight legal estate plan to make sure the assets you've been working so hard to obtain get passed on to your loved ones in the way that best fits you. Spear & Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-629-7586. That's 320-629-7586.
Choose the right divorce attorney. Spear & Swanson will make sure the judge knows your side of the story. Let them help you with your divorce, custody, child support, harassment, or orders for protection. They also handle DWIs and other legal matters. The right divorce attorney does make a difference. That's why you need to choose Spear & Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-620-7586.
The mushroom melt is back at A&W. How does this sound? Sautéed seasoned mushrooms and onions with melted Swiss cheese on your choice of a juicy burger or grilled chicken. Then add golden French fries and a medium soft drink. It's the mushroom melt and fries combo at A&W. Now, top it off with a classic A&W root beer float featuring vanilla soft serve and made fresh root beer, all in a frosty mug. Or how about the A&W root beer freeze? Signature combos and delicious treats always at your local A&W restaurant in Pine City.
Back here on WCMP, we're just about set for tip-off, and starting lineups for the Rush City Tigers will be number 1, Landon Mold, 22, Anthony Doss, 24, Dakota Schmidt, 32, Owen Dick, and 44, Braden Root. On the other side, for the Lions, it'll be number 14, Zach Ruland, number 20, Sona Terra, number 25, TJ Moody, number 32, Christopher Keys, and 35, Gideon Horn. And the Lions will win the tip-off. And they will pass it back out to the top of the key to Ruland. Ruland going to drive inside, puts up a layup. No good. Rebounded there a couple of times, and that's going to be Moody who gets the rebound. A 3 there for Terra, and it's no good. It's going to be rebounded by the Tigers. Dick, and putting it up. Shot is no good there by Landon Mold. And he'll go to the line and shoot 2. That foul going to go against Horn. It's going to be his first, team's first as well. No points on the board, and we get our first right there from Landon Mold, who makes it a 1-0 game. So Landon Mold with the first points, and he will not get both, just one. And the rebound there by Horn. Horn with the rebound, and Rulin taking it to the basket. Puts it up and in for two to make it 2-1. Oh, and then a bump. Trying to go hard after it was Moody, and he bumped with Anthony Das. So unfortunately will be a foul on him, but being aggressive here early on. So that's again on Moody, his second, team's second as well. Mold will inbound for the Tigers, looking. Going to go into the middle to Root, and now gets it off on the far side to Schmidt. Schmidt gets it near side corner here to Das. Das going to drive inside, fakes out one defender, then puts it up high off the glass, no good. And up for grabs is the rebound, and trying to save it was Owen Dick, but he just stepped out of bounds as he got the rebound. And that ball will go back to Hope Academy. Inbound to Ruland, and Ruland so far and their playmaker, and a three from Ruland. Wow. Makes it a 5-1 game. And this pass is going to be taken away by Moody. So Moody with a steal. And now a three for Ruland again. That is no good. Getting the rebound is Horn. And he gives it back to Ruland. Passes it out here to Keys. Keys for three. That's going to be no good. And getting the rebound this time was Mold, but unfortunately could not cleanly get the rebound. And then a three from Christopher Keys off the steal, and Mold kind of just basically threw it to him because that's all he could really do. And then a bump there as Anthony Das went up for the shot. It is no good. That's going to be the second foul on Moody, team's third. As Anthony Das, are they going to call it a shooting foul or no? No, they will not. So Dakota Schmidt will get set to inbound here, as again it is 8-1. Inbound quickly to Root, and he's got it up and in for two to make it 8-3. Quickly up the court go the Lions. Ruland trying to step inside, but he took one too many steps, and that's going to be called a travel. And we'll get a couple substitutions here. Actually, looks like 5 new ones for the Hope Academy Lions. That's going to be number 4, number 2, number 5, as I try to get everybody. Looks like number 40 and number 1. And then we get a foul again on the Hope Academy Lions. This one, we'll see who it's on. It's going to be on number 1, Brian Moss. And a three there for Das, no good. Rebounded by Root. Then taking it to the basket is Landon Mold, but he's fouled. And let's see who we get that one on. That's going to be on Brian Moss again, so his second and the team's 5th. Mold shot is up and good. Make it 8-4. Mold is only good on 1 of 2, but the rebounder there, Marquez Stanley, could not get Martez, excuse me. Tried to get the rebound, and then a three there from Anthony Das. He's been looking for that a couple of times here tonight. Finally gets it to fall to make it 8-7. And then a 3-point shot comes up short from number 5. That's Kieran Daichi. Oh boy, I probably botched that one beyond belief. I apologize. Meanwhile, the Tigers inbound. Anthony Das pulls up from 3 again. That one's going to come up short and nearly with a putback, but not to be. As the Lions get the rebound. Taking it up the court is Moss. Moss getting to the basket. Nice reverse layup, but no good. Rebounded there by Owen Dick. Dick with the rebound, and his shot is up and no good. And going to be rebounded there by number 4. And it looks like we're going to get a jump ball. The possession arrow favors the Rush City Tigers. Number 4, Eli Samuel. Inbounded here to Root, and he puts it up off the glass and in for two. Braden Root will give the Tigers a 9-8 lead here in the first half. This one goes over to number 40 for three. That's no good. Rebounded there by Stanley, and he gives it off to Moss. No good, and it's going to be rebounded by Owen Dick. Dick will give it off to Schmidt. Dakota Schmidt trying to take it to the basket, up off the glass. No good. Rebounded up for grabs, and it's going to be taken away by the Hope Academy Lions. Lions will take it up the court. Quickly give it off here to the player whose last name I will not try to pronounce again, I don't think. And no shot going to be called there, but we're going to get the first foul on the Rush City Tigers. Number 40 is Jordan Moss. That first foul for the Tigers goes against Dakota Schmidt. We'll get a couple substitutions. Looks like the starting five for the Hope Academy Lions checks back in. And inbound. Not sure the call there. Got to Braden Root, and then I don't know if we got a foul here, maybe? Yes, it will be. And it's going to be on Moody. That'll be his third and the team's sixth already, so he's going to have to be careful. Meanwhile, Dakota Schmidt will take it up the court here for the Tigers. Looks like we get another foul here on the Lions. This one going to go against Ruland, and that's his first, team seventh. So now the Tigers are already at the line to shoot 1-and-1s, and we've got 14:34 left. 17 fouls here for Hope Academy as Dakota Schmidt steps to the line for his 1-of-1, and he makes it to make it 10-8. So Schmidt makes the first one. He gets granted a second opportunity and makes them both. Dakota Schmidt with two there. Makes it 11-8. Now a three-point game. A shot there from DJ Moody is no good, but it's going to be stolen away by Moody. And he'll bounce, pass it over to Tatera. No good. And a whistle blown here. And looks like this one was out of bounds before Hope Academy could get back to it. No, they're going to say it was off of Rush City, so Hope Academy will get it back. It's Tara who will look to inbound. Tara will inbound to Ruland. Ruland's going to pull up from three right away. That's off the mark, but an easy rebound there and up and in for two for Gideon Horn to make it 11-10. Tigers still with the lead. Taking up the court is Landon Mold and trying to get it to Schmidt, but it goes through his hands. And now going back for the layup the other way is Christopher Keys, who puts it up and in for two to make it 12-11. We get a timeout called here. And we'll wait to see who this one is called by. 12-11 is the score with 13:54 to go here in the first half. That timeout called by Rush City. We'll take a timeout as well. You're listening to Boys Basketball on WCMP.
No appointment? No problem. Injuries and feeling ill don't always happen during normal business hours. That's why Wellia Health has urgency services open 7 days a week. Urgency Services in Pine City offers the care you need when you need it. Hours are now 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. No need to call or make an appointment. Just stop in. When tomorrow isn't soon enough and normal business hours just won't do, you can count on Wellia Health to be there for you. Live life well at Wellia Health.
Back here on WCMP 106.5 FM, AM 1350. Over on 95.5 FM, the Bram Bombers are taking on Christ Household of Faith. Over there on 95.5, Adam Hefty with the call on that one. Anthony Doss with a nice spin move inside, puts up the shot. It is no good. Gets his own rebound, puts it back, no good again. But I believe he was fouled. So he'll go to the line for two. Yep, well, he'll go to the line for two, and let's see who this one is on. Apparently no one. The player who the foul is on has not been put up on the board yet. So I'm not 100% sure of who got the foul. But it is the 8th foul. And I believe it was Brian Moss. That's who they have it for. Doss makes the second of 2 to make it 12-all here in this one in the first half. We're tied at 12 as we continue on throughout this one. Brian Moss will get into the defender a little bit of Rush City and then get it up and in for 2 on the layup, 14-12. And this ball inbounded. Landon Mold trying to get it to the front court. He does finally to Anthony Doss. Doss drives into the defender. Oh, and they're going to get a charge on Anthony Doss. So offensive foul there going to be called against Anthony Doss. His first, team's second. His team trails 14-12, so a pretty good back and forth game. Hope Academy started pretty hot, and then Rush City said, hey, we see your hot start and we'll up it. And they have so far. With it now is Stanley. Martez Stanley now gives it off to Daishi. I don't know. I apologize if I'm pronouncing your last name wrong. That is totally on me. Meanwhile, Brian Moss weaves his way through the defense to put this one up and in for 2. 16-12 is the score, and then Brian Moss being aggressive going after that one. That one intended for Root. And they're going to get a foul call here on Hope Academy, and Root should go to the line and shoot a 1-and-1. And depending on who this one's on, Hope Academy is going to have someone come and sit. Says it's on 22 or 2, I'm not sure. Either way, it's 9 fouls, and the first one is up and good there from Braden Root to make it 16-13. I'm still not sure who they're calling that one on. It's either Moss or I'm not sure who. Not 100% sure who it was on, but Braden Root makes both of them to make it 16-14 and back within a couple. Brian Moss will take it up the court for Hope Academy, trying to dribble through the defenders. Instead, he'll try and pass this one off, but the Tiger defender was right there, and that's going to be number 12, Nolan Stepp, trying to knock that one back to the front court and get an easy 2. Unfortunately, just missed out on that opportunity. Back to Brian Moss. He'll try and pull up from the free throw line. He does. It's no good. And that shot is up and no good as well. Rebounded by Jordan Moss, who will put it back up and in for 2 to make it 18-14 in favor of Hope Academy. This ball going to go deep here to the Tigers, and that is number 4, Matthew Kemp, who puts it up and in for 2. Quickly back the other way goes Hope Academy. No good on his shot from 3, and it's going to be Landon Mold with the rebound, trying now to get around a couple of defenders, and he will. And now taking it to the basket. The shot is up and no good, but putback shot is by William Volk, and Volk will put it up and in for 2. A long shot here is no good, and William Volk will get the rebound. Volk with the rebound, and this one going to be stolen away here by the Lions. Brian Moss puts up a shot. It is no good, and rebounded, taken the other way by Nolan Stepp. And then we're going to get a 10th team foul on the Lions. That one's going to go against Martez Stanley, his first, team's 10th. Nolan Stepp will be at the line to shoot 2. Also in the game is number 3, Jamison Wood. Nolan Stepp makes the first attempt, and that'll give the Tigers the lead right back, 19-18, with 11:26 to go here in the first half. Number 10 also in the game, that's Chase O'Flanagan. Stepp makes them both, and that will give the Tigers a 2-point lead, 20-18. They lead And Hope Academy, they move quickly up and down the court. Here they go already in the front court. This pass was tipped by Rush City. Now to Keys. Keys trying to drive inside. Nearly had it stolen away. Gives it back out to Rulin. Rulin trying to drive inside. Passes out to Horn. Horn will take a short two. It is no good. It's going to be pulled down here by O'Flanagan for the rebound. And now up the court to O'Flanagan once again. He gives it off. Tried to give it off there to Volk. It's going to be stolen away by the Lions. Keys. And a three is going to come up well short for the Lions. The Tigers will take it back the other way. And trying to get it on an awkward shot is Volk. And he will not get it to fall. But a foul is called against Hope Academy. And that will send him to... No, they're going to say it must have gone out of bounds off of a line defender. So Tigers hold on to it. This ball all the way out here to Nolan Stepp. He gives it off on the near side to Kemp. Kemp tries to drive just inside the perimeter, and then he gives it off to Volk. Volk has that one poked out by Christopher Keys. But the Lions touch it last, and the Tigers will get to inbound. Tigers lead 20-18 with 10:38 to go here in the first half. It's Wood who will try and inbound. This ball is tipped, though, by Keys, and Keys will take it to the basket, up off the backboard, and in for two. And that will tie this game at 20. 20 all here in this one with under 10.5 to go. A deep inbound here to a wide open Matthew Kemp. And he puts it up and in for two to give Rush City the lead right back, 22-20. Now Rulin on the other side in the front court for Hope Academy, trying to cross over the defender. He can't. The defender sticking right on him. He gets inside the perimeter and then gets fouled before the shot. So it will be the third team foul here for Rush City, and we'll find out who this one goes on. They're going to say it's on Jamison Wood. His first, team's third. Inbound will the Lions to Horn. Horn, the 8th grader, gives it all the way across court to Keys. Keys going to pull up from three, and that is good. Christopher Keys will get it to fall. It's a 23-22 lead now for the Lions. And the Lions will steal it back off the inbound and give it off to Keys. Shot is up, no good. Rebound up for grabs. They're letting them play pretty physical out there. Rulin will try and take it inside. Gives it back outside to Keys. On the far side for three. That's no good. Going to come up short. Getting the rebound that time is Nolan Stepp. Nolan Stepp, he'll give it off now to Volk. Volk driving to the basket. Has it blocked from behind by Keys. Man, this has been a fun back and forth basketball game so far. Rulin takes it to the basket. His shot no good. He gets his own rebound, and somehow it just rolls on top of that net for about what felt like a minute, and he gets it to fall. It's 25-22. Going the other way is Kemp. He put it up and in for two. Make it 25-24. A one-point game as we continue on. Under 10 minutes now, creeping up to 9. Rulin for three off the backboard, and it's in for three. Make it 28-24. Back the other way. Go the Tigers. Up, no good from Kemp. And looks like we're going to get a foul here on Hope Academy. So 28-24 is the score. And Kemp will get to go to the line to shoot two. Back and forth we go. I can hardly keep up with the camera. And this one going to be on Tara. His first, team's, well, like 11th or 12th. And it is a shooting foul, so Kemp going to go to the line and shoot two. 8:57 to go. Tigers trail by 4. First one is up off the front of the rim and in. He gets the kind bounce off the rim and gets it to fall to make it 28-25, a three-point game. Matthew Kemp wearing that number 4 tonight for the Rush City Tigers. A sophomore. His shot is up off the front of the rim this time. No good. It will stay a three-point game. And Hope Academy brings it up the court. Now going inside here to Jordan Moss, giving it back outside. And rebound here by Stanley, Martez Stanley. Not the rebound, but they're going to get him for a travel as he fell to the floor with the ball in his hands. Inbound going to go to Jamison Wood, and he'll give it off to Dick. And now deep. And Kieran, I won't try to pronounce his last name anymore, wearing number 5 for Hope Academy, gets the steal. And he will attempt the three. No, he'll fake the three, go inside, and give it back outside to Brian Moss, and his shot is up, no good. Rebounded by Owen Dick. Owen Dick will take it up the court, and for his teammate Root, who lost it for a moment, but they do get it back. Gives it off to Owen Dick on the far side of the court. He's going to be double teamed, trying to dribble around the double team, trying to give it inside to his teammate Jamison Wood, but that is going to be stolen away by the Lions, and then we get a charge call here on number 1, Brian Moss, and that will be his 4th. So he's probably going to have to come sit. Yeah, unfortunately, his 4th. That's unfortunate for the Lions. He's been playing pretty well here tonight, but he'll have to come sit for a while. 28-25, 8:04 to go. And Landon Mold will look to inbound. This one just a little too deep. Kieran will get it, and now Landon Mold will get it right back. Landon Mold with the steal. Gives it off here to Anthony Doss, who puts it up and in for 2 to make it 28-27. Quickly the other way go the Lions, going inside for number 40, Jordan Moss, who puts it up and in for 2 to make it 30-27. And then quickly up the court, the other way go the Tigers, and giving it off to Root this time. It is up and in for 2 to make it 30-29. And a timeout, holy moly, going to be called here on the court with 7:29 to go. 30-29 is the lead for Hope Academy, but Rush City, man, they have not been trailing by too much here in this one, and they have gotten hot as of late. A little bit of a slow start for them, but as of late, they have been on point as they trail only by 1 here in this game, trying to continue their 2-game win streak. They trail by 1 point, 30-29 here in the first half. With 7:29 to go, unfortunately for Hope Academy, they're in the double. They put Rush City in the double bonus, and they have 10-plus fouls. I think it's up to now 12 or 13 team fouls, unfortunately. And for them right now, Brian Moss and TJ Moody are in foul trouble. Moody with 3, Moss with 4. So unfortunately for them, they'll have to be careful with those 2 guys. Of course, Rush City only with 3, as now it'll be Ruland who will get the inbound. He'll give it off to Kieran. Kieran back to Ruland. Ruland a deep 3. That's off the mark, no good. And getting the rebound that time is Owen Dick, and he'll give it off now to Landon Mold, who takes it, gives it off to Anthony Doss, who puts it up and in for 2 to give the Tigers the lead right back, 31-30. This one nearly stolen away by Doss. And going after the ball is Eli Samuel, but he fell on top of Doss, and unfortunately they're going to get him for a foul on that one. I don't think Samuel meant any ill will by doing that. He was just going after the ball. He fell on top of Anthony Doss, and unfortunately that is going to be a foul on him. So Anthony Doss will get to go to the line and shoot 2 for a chance to put his team up by 3. First one is good. Make it 32-30. This one's up and good as well. 33-30 is the score as Anthony Doss adds 2 more. Double teamed as Ruland, gives it off to Kieran. And now off on the far side here to Stanley. This one goes off of Ruland and out of bounds. It will go back to the Tigers on a turnover, and Landon Mold will look to inbound. Mold looks for the deep inbound. And he had his teammate Owen Dick down there open. And I think they're going to get Hope Academy a warning for as they cross that boundary line. They don't want you crossing that on the inbound. And this time he will inbound to Dakota Schmidt. Schmidt trying to take it up past Ruland. He gets past Ruland into the front court now. And he gives it back to Root, looking for Mold. Instead, trying to get it to Schmidt. That's going to be stolen away this time by Stanley. And he gave it off to Jordan Moss at the last second, but we got a foul call before that. 4th team foul on Rush City, the first for Braden Root. And at the line to shoot 2 will be Martez Stanley. First one up and no good from Martez Stanley. The 5'7" junior That one is up and good, though. So Stanley gets 1 of 2 there. And then a deep inbound stolen by Kieran. It's his third. He'll give it off to Rulin. Trying to give it off, but Landon Mold right in the way. And he gets the steal. And now he's double teamed, and he'll give it off to Schmidt. To Doss in the corner for 3. It's good! Anthony Doss nails a 3 to make it 36-31. Going the other way now is Hope Academy. Kieran gives it off to Ruland. And Ruland trying to drive inside, directing traffic, wants to give it on the far side. And he'll put up a little shot. Not sure if it was meant as a shot or almost a rebound shot, but it is rebounded by Root. And now up and in for 2 the other way for Landon Mold to make it 38-31. And the Tigers starting to get their offense rolling here. And now that shot from Ruland up no good. We're going to get a travel. So before Ruland's shot got off, he traveled. And now we'll give the ball back to Rush City. 38-31, they lead with 5:47 to go here in the first half. It has been an exciting first half, a ton of action between these two teams. Unfortunately for Hope Academy, they've got 10-plus fouls, so they put Rush City in the double bonus. For Rush City, it's been a clean first half. It started a little bit slow, but now they've got things going. They lead by 7, and Schmidt kind of got away with a travel there on that one. Landon Mold gets double teamed, gives it off to Anthony Doss deep in the front court, and trying to deliver it to Root, who was not where Doss thought he was. Doss thought he was a little bit deeper in the paint, and he was not, and that ball goes out of bounds. It will go back to Hope Academy as Ruland will take it up the court. Makes one defender fall, puts up a high arcing shot that is no good. Rebounded there by Keys. He gives it off now to Moody, all the way across court to Keys again to Ruland. Ruland will step up another long 3, and that one's good. Ruland from 3 to make it 34-38. Still in favor of the Tigers. Anthony Doss gives it off here to Root. Root gives it off to Owen Dick. Up off the backboard and in for 2. His first points of the game to make it 40-34. Ruland thought about an extra long 3, probably NBA range from that one. And he'll do a step back 3 from college 3. Oh my goodness, and that is good. Zachary Ruland makes it 37-40. And he's kind of willing his team back into it. Quickly to Anthony Doss, who is wide open. He tries a spin move, then gives it off on the far side to Owen Dick for 3. That's no good. Shot is up. And how in the world did he put it back in? Oh, they're going to call Anthony Doss for the offensive foul on the push. Anthony Doss going to get called for the push. That was, if that wasn't a foul, that was an incredible feat, because Anthony Doss was going up for the rebound. He just slapped it back towards the net and got it to fall through. I mean, it was a clear swish. It didn't hit anything but net. That was an awesome thing to have happen, but unfortunately, Doss is going to be called for the foul on the push, so that basket won't count, and that's unfortunate. That's probably one of the cooler baskets I've seen. Anthony Doss going up for the rebound, just swats it back towards the net, and it falls through. But unfortunately called for the offensive foul there. So the ball will go back to Hope Academy, who is on the comeback march. They trailed by 7, 38-31, and now have been on a 6-2 run since then. And 2 threes have been hit by Ruland. And I mean, they are deep threes. They are college level 3, if not further. Closer to NBA range 3s. He's got a very good 3-point shot. And if you're Hope Academy right now, I'm sure you're okay with giving it to him to try and get you back into it. But Rush City, as quickly as Hope Academy's moving up the court, Rush City's moving even quicker. And what they're getting a great opportunity of is they are getting free guys in the front court. They are easily getting guys uncovered in the front court. Hope Academy's kind of crashing the glass on the offense right now, and they're leaving the backcourt open for Rush City to get someone down there free. That one's going to be poked out from behind, and I think they're going to say it stays with Hope Academy. It does. So Taro will look to inbound here for the Lions. Taro will deep inbound to Ruland, and yep, he's going to pull up from 3. That's going to come up well short, and it hits right out of bounds. So the ball goes back to Rush City. 40-37 they lead with 4:27 to go in the first half. Landon Mold will look to inbound. Everybody's covered. He's going to go deep, though, to Owen Dick. He gets it. Owen Dick has a lane to the basket, gives it off to Anthony Doss, puts it up, in for two. Nice move there by Anthony Doss, and a great pass from Owen Dick to be able to get him open. Rulin, he'll give it off now to Tara. Tara, that one's going to be stolen away by Owen Dick. Owen Dick takes it to the basket, up off the backboard, in for two. 44-37. Quickly up the court goes Hope Academy. Rulin with it. Nearly poked away by Dick. This one's going to be stolen away by Mold. A fingertip steal by Mold. Going up the court with it, Anthony Doss. No foul call, and it's going to be rebounded there by Hope Academy. And wow, quick through the defense goes Gideon Horn on the rebound. He puts it up and in for two, 44-39. You just got to give credit where credit's due on that one. Horn made a nice move to get up the court that quickly. Now Doss with it. No foul call on that one, and keeping it alive is Schmidt. Giving it off to Owen Dick for three, no good. Rulin will get the rebound. Quickly up the court for Keys this time. Keys lost it. And good show of sportsmanship there as coming back to try and block was Owen Dick, and I don't think Keys saw him fall the court, but he taps him on the shoulder as he gets up, say, hey, my bad, didn't see ya. 44-39 is the score, 3:21 to go here in the first half. Rush City leads over Hope Academy. Landon Mold will look to inbound for the Tigers. Everybody covered pretty well again, but he does get it inbounded here to Nolan Step up the court. Goes Mold, gives it off to Doss. Doss fakes the three, then gives it off here to Schmidt. Schmidt for three, no good. That ball, and unfortunately there for Martez Stanley, he didn't realize that it was bouncing off of his head as he went out of bounds, so it will stay with the Rush City Tigers. And Dakota Schmidt will inbound to Root. Root off the backboard and in for two. Raiden Root makes it 46-39. And that ball going to be stolen away by Landon Mold. Mold with the steal, up and in for two to make it 48-39. Quickly the other way go the Lions. That one's going to be off of the Tigers. And it will stay with the Lions. Back and forth we go, 48-39. 2:48 to go in this first half with the Tigers holding on to a 9-point lead right now. And as this goes, we're in for a potentially triple-digit scoring game for both sides. We'll see what the call is here. We got a push on the Tigers on Landon Mold, his first, team's sixth. Inbounded here by Kieran. Tomas back to Kieran for three, no good. Landon Mold gets the rebound, gives it up quickly to Anthony Doss, up and in for two, plus one. Anthony Doss got it to fall, and he was fouled, and he'll go to line to shoot the and one. 50-39 is the score in favor of your Tigers. 2:37 to go. Anthony Doss for the possible three-point play. It is in. Anthony Doss, the three-point play, makes it 51-39. Quickly up the court goes the Lions. With it is Brian Moss. Moss has that one trying to pass it, and it goes awry. It will go out of bounds, and we'll go back to Rush City. Landon Mold will look to inbound again. And, give credit to Mold on these inbounds. It seems like everyone has been very well covered, but he just finds a little gap. Gets it off to Nolan Step this time, and this time floats it a little too much. Brian Moss with the steal. A short two that falls in. That'll make it 51-41. Quickly up the court, they'll go the Tigers. Anthony Doss steps inside, up and in for two. Anthony Doss having himself a first half. 53-41. And that ball going to be stolen away by Anthony Doss. Up and in for two from Landon Mold. 55-41. Quickly up the court goes Brian Moss. Gets around one defender. Shot is up and good. That's a nice move by Moss. And that'll make it 55-43. So Brian Moss will get that one to fall, and he goes to the line for the and one opportunity in the three-point play. This foul going to go against Braden Root, his second, team's 7th. So now Hope Academy in the bonus. Meanwhile, Brian Moss looking for the potential three-point play. 143 to go here in the first half. 55-43 is the lead for the Rush City Tigers as Brian Moss of Hope Academy looks for the three-point play. Shot is up and good. So the three-point play is good. 55-44 is the score. Hey, I can rhyme. With just over a minute and a half to go here in this first half. Landon Mold will inbound quickly to Root. Gives it off to Schmidt. Oh, one defender falls for Hope Academy. He's all right. Gives it off to Root. Root hovers in the air for a moment and then gets it to fall. 57-44. Rulin will take it up the court here for Hope Academy. Trying to get it inside, but it's stolen away by Schmidt. Schmidt with the steal. Gives it off to Anthony Doss. Up and in for 2. Holy cow. This is incredible. What a performance in this first half by Rush City. This ball is tipped, stolen away by Schmidt yet again to Landon Mold, who tried to keep it alive, but that's going to go away from his teammates, unfortunately, and will go out of bounds and go back to Hope Academy. 1:09 to go, 59-44 the score in this first half. The Tigers with the lead. Rulin trying to get around Mold. Nice ball handling, pulls up a 3 from deep. It's no good. And somehow getting the rebound that time was Horn. And didn't quite see that play. I was trying to find the player. Looks like it may have gone off of a player out of bounds. It will stay with Hope Academy. This inbound goes to Ruland. Ruland looking for someone to give it off to. He does. And unfortunately, I don't have that player on my sheet yet. As Ruland pulls up from 3, that's no good. And of course, the player I don't have on my sheet yet gets the rebound. But this rebound here by Horn, his shot up and no good. By the way, number 23 is the young man I am talking about, Jason, Ekuheta. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's a very cool last name. I hate botching names. Pet peeve of mine. Either way, Gideon Horn was fouled. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. 59-44 is the score. And Horn no good on his first with 41 seconds to go. Good on his second. So he makes 1 of 2. And it's 59-45. And, maybe a missed foul call there on Volk as he made the defender fall. And that block by Horn and then taken back by the Tigers. And it's Schmidt again with a steal. And then, let's see the whistle. We got a foul on the Tigers, it looks like. No, on the Lions, it's going to go against Moody. TJ Moody, his 4th, and Anthony Doss at the line to shoot 2. His first one is up and no good. So 59-45 will remain. 27 seconds to go. Doss's second one. That one hits off the front of the rim and slides in. 60-45, and that ball going to go out of bounds, but last tipped by the Tigers. So the Lions will hold on to it, I believe. No, it was out of bounds, and the Tigers will get it back. Anthony Doss will get the inbound, and he gives it off to Owen Dick. Dick trying to drive inside. Triple team now, and I don't know about that call. I thought he tied up the ball. I thought that should be a jump ball, but not to be. As there'll be another foul here on Hope Academy. On 23, Ekuheta. Again, I hope and pray I'm pronouncing that right. First one is up and no good from Owen Dick. Score stays at 60-45 with 22 seconds to go. This one from Dick is up and good. So Owen Dick makes 1 of 2, 61-45, a 16-point lead. Rulin gets the pass from Terra, and he'll give it back to Terra, and that ball is tipped and last touched by the Lions. So the Tigers will get it back once again and will try and go into the front court and get the last second score before half. And instead, they're looking to move pretty quickly here. Owen Dick tries to go inside to Landon Mold. His shot is up and good. Landon Mold is good on two, makes it 63-45. And last second shot taken there by TJ Moody is no good, and we'll go to halftime with your score. The Tigers leading over the Hope Academy Lions 63-45. We'll take a commercial break here, word from our fine sponsors, and when we come back, I'll recap the first half and give you my keys to the second half for what I think the Tigers need to do for the win. It won't be too much different than what they did in the first half. Again, your halftime score here, the Tigers leading over the Lions of Hope Academy 63-45. Let's hear a word from our fine sponsors, and we'll be right back here as you're listening to Boys Basketball on WCMP.
Since 1967, Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley, has been where to go for all your building projects. Let Gerald Schmidt help you with designing, remodeling, or any new construction. Schmidt Construction specializes in residential home building, agricultural, industrial, and commercial buildings. With expert advice on all of your building projects and ideas, when you hire a contractor to take care of your building needs, you can't do better than Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley. 320-384-7901.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a four-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
It's time to start pushing snow. Sorry, just the messenger. Thankfully, Minnesota Equipment in Isanti has affordable machines to do the heavy lifting. Any size property. Toro and Aaron's walk behind snow blowers. Oh, you got land, huh? How about John Deere lawn and garden tractors? Or a compact utility tractor? Minnesota Equipment has them in stock. Snow removal doesn't have to be backbreaking. Not if you get into Minnesota Equipment. Highway 65 in Isanti. Or visit minnesotaequipment.com.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. But you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franzen Bank and Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride, like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franzen Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzenbank.com/get-there. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Most Americans do not have a proper will or estate plan in place. Many of you listening have been putting off that important task for a long time. Stop waiting and contact Spear & Swanson today. Spear & Swanson can help you put together a tight legal estate plan to make sure the assets you've been working so hard to obtain get passed on to your loved ones in the way that best fits you. Spear & Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-629-7586. That's 320-629-7586.
Choose the right divorce attorney. Spear & Swanson will make sure the judge knows your side of the story. Let them help you with your divorce, custody, child support, harassment, or orders for protection. They also handle DWIs and other legal matters. The right divorce attorney does make a difference. That's why you need to choose Spear & Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-620-7586.
The mushroom melt is back at A&W. How does this sound? Sautéed seasoned mushrooms and onions with melted Swiss cheese on your choice of a juicy burger or grilled chicken. Then add golden French fries and a medium soft drink. It's the mushroom melt and fries combo at A&W. Now, top it off with a classic A&W root beer float featuring vanilla soft serve and made fresh root beer, all in a frosty mug. Or how about the A&W root beer freeze? Signature combos and delicious treats always at your local A&W restaurant in Pine City.
No appointment? No problem. Injuries and feeling ill don't always happen during normal business hours. That's why Wellia Health has urgency services open 7 days a week. Urgency Services in Pine City offers the care you need when you need it. Hours are now 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. No need to call or make an appointment. Just stop in. When tomorrow isn't soon enough and normal business hours just won't do, you can count on Wellia Health to be there for you. Live life well at Wellia Health.
Since 1967, Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley, has been where to go for all your building projects. Let Gerald Schmidt help you with designing, remodeling, or any new construction. Schmidt Construction specializes in residential home building, agricultural, industrial, and commercial buildings. With expert advice on all of your building projects and ideas. When you hire a contractor to take care of your building needs, you can't do better than Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley. 320-384-7901.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a 4-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available. Online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
Back here on WCMP, 106.5 FM, AM 1350. The Rush City Tigers lead over the Hope Academy Lions, 63-45. It's been a fast-paced first half between these two, and a lot of points scored. I've hardly been able to keep up with my camera and stats, trying to get the stats written down before I move the camera, and then trying to move the camera before I write the stats down. It has been crazy back and forth, but the Tigers do lead the Lions 63-45 at half, and that has been hard enough as well to try and say Tigers and Lions, to try and keep those two separate. And I don't know why I do have a problem with that, but it's been a fun one. It's been a fast-paced one, and like I mentioned, and the Tigers got off to a little bit of a slow, sluggish start, and it's not to say that they've been slow. That's not the case at all. Hope Academy just got off to the better start. That's simply what it was. They got off to the faster start, and that was due to Zachary Ruland. He got 5 points within the first couple minutes, and his teammate also helped. I think it was Keys, who also got a couple of 5 points there in the first couple of minutes as well. But after those first points by Hope Academy, Rush City really started to get things rolling. And as they got things rolling, Hope Academy was able to kind of keep it close for a moment there, but you could tell Rush City was starting to get things to fall their way. The more and more this game went along, the more and more their offense and their scheme started to come out, and it started to just work for them and started to just flow. And I mean, it was not difficult for them at points to just go. And I mean, that's what they've been able to do here. It has been nonstop for this Rush City team, and I gotta say, with the way this team is looking, man, they are in shape. Probably one of the best in-shape teams that we've seen so far. I mean, just their ability to run the court like they have been this early has been awesome. They are well conditioned, this Rush City team is, and it's showing by their ability to run up and down this court nonstop, because as soon as if Hope Academy scores, or even if they don't, they get the rebound, Rush City is already in their front court waiting for the ball to get to them and then trying to make moves to get to the basket. Even if they're open, they're doing a great job of getting to the basket, and even if they may have a shot that could wind up getting a foul, they will pass it off to give it off to a teammate to try and get them the easier shot. It's just been great basketball for this Rush City Tigers team, just very, very unselfish Rush City team. I mean, Anthony Doss, he does lead the team with 23 points, but that really doesn't show you how unselfish this team has been. The scheme has been that Doss will kind of stay behind. He's going to go, obviously, back on defense, but as soon as they drive inside, that's kind of what Hope Academy has been trying to do. They've been trying to drive inside. As soon as he sees that, he kind of drops back, and after either they score or get the rebound, he immediately crosses back into the front court. He'll just sit down there, kind of like he's in a zone. He just kind of sits and waits for the ball, and they'll chuck it deep down to him. And a lot of times he's been able to hit a three, or he's been able to fake a three and drive inside and get a two. So the scheme has been I don't want to say simple, but it's been pretty just simple. Honestly, I can't think of the word that I want to say, but simple. It's been pretty simple for Rush City. All they are doing right now is getting Anthony Doss just to kind of sit behind, move into the front court after he scores a rebound, and then he just goes from there. But he's done a good job of getting some assists as well, as he does lead the team with 23 points. 12 for Braden Root, 10 for Landon Mold. On the other side for the Hope Academy Lions, it's 16 for Zachary Rulin and 10 for Christopher Keys, 9 for Brian Moss. They do have a couple players in some foul trouble. That's TJ Moody and Brian Moss, who have 4 fouls each. They did have about 16 team fouls and 8 steals in that first half. 9 steals for the Rush City Tigers and 8 team fouls. Again, these stats are extremely unofficial. These are not official stats by any stretch of the imagination. I just do the best that I can while also calling the game. So these aren't official stats by any means, but I do my best. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Bram Bombers hosting Christ Household of Faith, and it is not going the way the Bram Bombers would have liked. They trail at halftime to the Lions of Christ Household of Faith, 51-19. Bram had it down to a 15-13 lead for Christ Household of Faith, but the Lions went on a 36-6 run there in that first half. So unfortunately, there for the Bombers of Bram, they trail at half, and 51-19. In our game, the Lions of Hope Academy getting set to inbound as they will start with the ball, and they trail 63-45. The inbound will go to Brian Moss. Brian Moss will take his team into the front court, and he gives it off now to Martez Stanley. Stanley, under some pressure, he's double-teamed, gives it off to Kieran. Kieran will give it back to Brian Moss. Brian Moss drives inside the 3, puts up a shot, a floater, no good. Rebounded there by Stanley. His shot is up and no good, and rebounded by Root. Root will get quickly up the court to Landon Mold, and he tries to get it to Owen Dick all the way across the court, but it is well high of everyone, and it will go out of bounds and go back to Hope Academy. Kieran will inbound to Brian Moss. Moss will get it into the front court, give it off to Kieran. Kieran wanted Moss again, instead goes to Stanley. Now on the far side for Jordan Moss, and he pulls up from 2, no good. Landon Mold with the rebound, and he will take it and get it into the front court now to Owen Dick for 3. He's struggled from 3 so far, and he doesn't make that one as Kieran gets the rebound here for Hope Academy. Lions move it into the front court now, giving it off on the near side to Brian Moss. Moss kind of double-teamed in a zone, and he tried to pass it off to Jordan Moss, but that was knocked away by Landon Mold. And Mold will inbound it here to Stanley all the way across court, trying to get it to Eli Samuel, but it goes through his hands out of bounds, and it will go back to the Rush City Tigers. Mold inbounds here to Schmidt and gives it back to Mold and trying to get it to Root, but that goes just the opposite way that he was going, and it goes out of bounds right back to Hope Academy. So 16:50, a minute 10 has gone off the clock here in this second half. We still have the same score, 63-45. The Tigers lead the Lions, and this one intended for Kieran. It goes off his hand, out of bounds, and it will go to the Rush City Tigers. This inbound to Dakota Schmidt, and instead he'll take it up the court. Again, maybe got away with a little bit of a travel there, and this time we get a timeout or travel call. I think they do get him. I think he slipped a little bit as he stopped, and yeah, unfortunately that is a travel. Kieran will inbound to Brian Moss. Back to Kieran now. Into the corner for Jordan Moss. Jordan Moss toting that boundary line, and unfortunately he does step. No. On the boundary line? Whoa, looks like we get a foul call here on Rush City. That one's going to go against Dakota Schmidt, his second and the team's first of the second half. So Hope will get to inbound. And going to be stolen away by Landon Mold. Gives it off to Schmidt. And he's double-teamed, and he'll give it off to Owen Dick. Dick back to Schmidt. Schmidt all the way across court here to Anthony Doss. Doss fakes the pass. Now driving inside, puts up a shot off the backboard and in for 2. Continue to have a night, Mr. Anthony Doss, what a night it has been for him. 65-45 now the score. Brian Moss will pull up from the free throw line. That is no good, and Root coming down with the rebound that time. Tigers go up the court. Landon Mold gives it inside to Root. Up and in for 2 plus 1. Root gets that basket to fall, and he'll go to line for the possible three-point play. On the other side, it's the second foul for Eku Heta. First team foul in the second half for the Lions. Again, Root at the line to shoot for the possible three-point play. 67-45. And he does. So he makes the basket, and it's a three-point play for Root. Ruland gives it off inside to Tara. Back to Ruland, a long three, and it's on the mark, but no good. Getting the rebound that time is Horn. His shot is no good. And now back to Keys. Keys with the rebound. He's step back three, and that's good. Step back three is good from Keys. Root giving it off to Schmidt. It's 68-48. And Schmidt gonna lose it. Gonna be stolen away here by Keys. And Rulin trying to go for the alley-oop layup, and it's no good this time. And Root's gonna slam it down for the dunk. 70-48 is the score after the dunk from Braden Root. Rulin trying to drive inside, puts it up off the top of the glass, no good. Landon Mold with the rebound, down the other way for Anthony Doss. That is up and in for 2. 72-48 now the score. And Hope Academy reeling here a little bit. On the far side for Keys, that's no good. Rulin flying in for the rebound, puts it up and in for 2. Mold will get it to Root. Root back to Mold. Mold, he's going to take it to the front court himself. Gets around one defender. Now driving inside. Finds a lane that he likes. Up. And no good is the shot. But we're going to get a foul on the Lions. And that is going to go against Horn. His second. Team's third here. Or second in the second half. Yes. First one is up and in from Landon Mold to make it 73-48. That one's in as well. Landon Mold will make both to make it 74-48 with 14:24 to go here in the second half. Get a couple subs. Checking in the game is Jamison Wood for Schmidt. That's Owen Dick who checked out, and in for him is Nolan Stepp. Lines up the court with it. Tara, he'll give it off to Moody. Moody all the way across court to Keys. Keys back to Rulin. Rulin to Tara. Tara finds the lane, driving inside. Tried to give it off inside. He will. This time to Keys. Keys gets it to fall for 2, and now he'll go to the line for the possible and 1. 74-50, and Keys will be at the line to shoot the N1 possibility. And Wood with his second foul. Team's second here the second half. And Keys for the possible three-point play. 74-52. Forgot about the 3 that they had. And that one is no good, so Keys will only get 2 out of that one. And we get a jump ball, and the possession arrow favors the Tigers, so they will hold on to it. 74-52 is the score. 14:05 to go here in half number 2. Landon Mold will inbound. And he'll get it inbounded here to Wood. Jamison Wood weaving through traffic. Gets it in the front court to Root to Mold. Mold inside. Up off the glass. In for 2. 76-52 now as Rulin gets it on the inbound. On the far side of the court. He's going to pull up from 3. And, oh, that is good. I didn't think that one was going to fall. But it winds up finding home. 76-55. And Landon Mold finds a way open. He's got a lane. Gives it off. No look past Anthony Doss. He's in some trouble. Totes that boundary line. He gets to the near side 3. Instead works it back inside. And that is swatted by Keys. Oh, and they're going to say he got the foul. Maybe got a little more than the ball. I think that's his first. Oh, maybe a horn for that one. I didn't see that. I think that's the wrong person. Either way, Anthony Doss does make the first of 2 to make it 77-55. 13:29 to go. Doss hit the first, looking to make the second, and it's good. So Doss makes both to make it 78-55. Quickly up the other way goes Brian Moss. He gives it off to Kieran. That's no good off the front of the rim. Anthony Doss going to grab the rebound. Quickly up the court they go. This time to Nolan Stepp. And just off the mark with that. And Nolan Stepp, as he was going for it, he must have had a toe out of bounds as he got the rebound, as it will go back to the Lions. Brian Moss up the court. Had it poked out by Landon Mold. We'll give him credit for the steal. He puts it up, no good. Coming from behind is Nolan Stepp for the rebound, puts it up and in for 2 to make it 80-55. Brian Moss shot no good. Rebounded there by Iku Heta. Kieran with it, nearly loses possession, somehow gets it back in behind his back, but it is going to be stolen away here by Jamison Wood. He'll get it up court now to Anthony Doss. Doss on the far side, double teamed, and that's going to be stolen away by Iku Heta. Heta trying to drive in. Bounce pass here to Jordan Moss. That's going to be no good. Rebounded by Root, and quickly up the court for Landon Mold. He puts it up off the glass and in for 2. 82-55. And could the Tigers hit 100 here? Brian Moss trying to get it inside to Jordan Moss, and now to Kieran. That shot is no good. Rebounded here by Iku Heta, and they're going to call jump ball, but the possession favors the Lions, so Hope Academy will hold on to it as the Tigers lead 82-55 with 12:06 to go here in this second half. Looking to inbound is Tara for the Lions. Tara will inbound to Ruland, and Ruland will pull up from deep 3 again. That one's off the mark, no good. Rebounded here by Moody. Moody will get it back to Keys. Keys was nearly fouled. Nice job by the Tiger defender not to foul him, and then he puts it up, kisses it off the glass, in for 2. 82-57 is the score. Quickly up the court go the Tigers. Bounce pass to Landon Mold, up, in for 2. Holy cow. 84-57. And the Tigers are rolling. Keys for 3. That's no good. Rebound kept alive, and I believe that was Jamison Wood going after it. Landon Mold, no doubt. Up and in for 2. Quickly the other way for Ruland. Step back 3, no good. Rebounded there by Nolan Stepp. Nolan Stepp gives it off this time, and gave it off to Volk, and Volk gave it off to Anthony Doss, and he's fouled on his way up, so he'll go to the line and shoot 2. That's going to be the second foul on Ruland. Team's 4th here in the second half, 86-57 with 11:08 to go. Anthony Doss at the line to shoot 2. First one is up and good to make it 87-57, a 30-point healthy lead for the Tigers. Anthony Doss made his first, and he'll make the second. 88-57. Lions moving quickly up the court go to Kieran. Kieran goes inside to Brian Moss. Gets through 2 and up and in for 2 for Brian Moss. Nice move there between the defenders there for Brian Moss. And now the Tigers trying to get it up the court, struggling a little bit, but they do finally get it in their front court. Jamison Wood with it, working on the far side, looking for Volk instead. It's going to be stolen away. Nolan Stepp trying to keep it from being stolen, but he's going to get a foul on him. Kieran with the steal. And Nolan Stepp will get his first foul. Kieran with the steal. That's his fourth of the game. Brian Moss gives it to Kieran. Kieran fakes and then gives it off on the far side to Stanley. Now to Jordan Moss, and that ball looking for someone, but he wasn't there. Nolan Stepp going to get the steal. Anthony Doss, step back two, no good. Racing after the rebound, but it's going to go off. Last touched by the Tigers, so ball goes back to the Lions of Hope Academy with the Tigers leading 88-59 with 10:25 to go. Dakota Schmidt will check back into the game for Jamison Wood. Brian Moss takes it into the front court. Thought about pulling up from long two. It's not going to happen, and Moss falls, and we're going to get a foul call. We'll see what this one is. This one is on the Tigers, William Volk. His first, team's fourth here of the second half. Kieran will inbound to Brian Moss. Three, no good. Shot is up and missed, and then rebounded by Volk. And he'll give it off to Anthony Doss for two, and it's 90-59. And get a jump ball call here. Possession arrow favors the Tigers. 90-59, your Rush City Tigers lead. 10:02 to go in the second half. O'Flanagan will inbound, and going to get a foul call here on Hope Academy. It's the first for Keys. Inbound goes to Dick, and now to Schmidt. A late pass decision to Doss. Now gives it off to O'Flanagan. To Dick. To Schmidt for three. No good, and the rebound still up for grabs. Rebounded by O'Flanagan. Kept alive to Dakota Schmidt. And he'll give it to Dick. Now to Doss. Anthony Doss trying to drive inside. Got a little too fancy with the handling there. It's going to be stolen away by Keys. He puts up a shot. It's no good. Rebounded by Schmidt. Schmidt will go the other way with it. Schmidt will try and work back outside to the perimeter. Goes all the way across court to Anthony Doss. Pulls up from long three. It's off the front of the rim. No good. Getting the rebound that time was Gideon Horn of Hope Academy. Rulin drives inside, shot up, no good, but he was fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot two. 90-59 is the score. Fifth team foul here for the Tigers, and that one's going to go against Dakota Schmidt, his third. Rulin at the line to shoot two. And no good on the first. And checking in to the game for the first time here this evening, I believe that's number 34, Landon Utek. Utek, apologize. The shot is up and good from Rulin, so he makes one of two. Go to Schmidt. Trying not to travel, gives it off, and now to Owen Dick. Owen Dick nearly lost possession. He's going to drive to the basket. Shot is up and no good. Rebounded there by Gideon Horn. Horn will drive inside, puts up a shot. It's no good. Rebound still up for grabs, and I think you're going to say it went out of bounds off of somebody. Off of the Tigers. 90-60 is the score. Rush City still with the lead here. A hefty lead at home. And now we're going to get a timeout call here by the Hope Academy Lions with 8:54 showing left on the scoreboard. 90-60 is the score. And the Tigers a huge lead after, again, a kind of a sluggish start to this game for them. But after that sluggish start, man, they came out firing, and they have not stopped. Anthony Doss is having himself a night. He had 23 points in that first half, and now as we look to the second half, he adds 10 more. Or no, excuse me, that's not 10. Is it? Yes, it is 10 more. I apologize. My math is just terrible. He's got 33 points on the night. 33 points on the night for Anthony Doss. Landon Mold has added plenty more as well. He's added 10 more. He's got 20. And Braden Root has added 5 more, so he's got 17. So a bunch of scoring here tonight for Rush City as they try and get to 100 here tonight. I think I've seen maybe two 100-point games. So it's not very often you see 100-point games in high school basketball unless it's heavily one-sided. And I would say this one's been heavily one-sided. The action's been pretty good back and forth. Hope Academy will get to inbound. It's Tara who will inbound for the Lions. And that pass was a little bit too much lobbed, and Landon Mold will get the steal, and he'll drive down and put it up and in for 2, 92 to 60. Rulin double teamed. He will do the old schoolyard or backyard or pavement play, and UTEC gets the rebound, and on the far side for 3, no good from Landon Mold. Rebounded there by Owen Dick, and for 2 is UTEC. 94 to 60. But the other way, Ruland tried to throw it off of the backboard, get his own rebound and go and put it in for 2. As a shot there from Tara, no good. Rebounded by Horn, stolen away, and an easy 2 coming for Landon Mold. He tries to go for the dunk, just came up a little short. I'm sure he'll probably have the dunk down by the end of the year. The shot from Tara, no good. Rebounded by Keys. On the far side for Ruland. Goes inside, and awkward shot, no good. UTEC with the rebound. Owen Dick tries to force it, and going to be stolen by Moody, and not sure what the whistle there was for. 96-60 is the score. I think we get a timeout. No. I'm not really sure what that whistle was for. 96-60 is the score. 7:38 to go in this second half. Hope Academy does have the ball. Inbounded to Brian Moss. Moss gives it off now to Akuheta, and it's going to be stolen away by Schmidt. Schmidt trying to go to Landon Mold, and we get a tie-up. Yes, jump ball. No, we get a foul call. 6th-team foul, and the second for Martez Stanley. Running clock will commence. 7:10 to go. Inbound to Dakota Schmidt. Schmidt starts in the back court, works it to the front court. And now this will be a foul. I believe it's going to go against Jordan Moss, and that will be it for Moss. Oh, maybe not. No, that's his first. Okay. So they had 4 up on the board for him, but they switched it to 1 real quick. So that must have been for someone they had substituted in. And Schmidt with the shot on the 1-and-1 is no good. Rebounded by Akuheta. And looking for the shot the other way is Brian Moss. His shot no good. Dakota Schmidt with another rebound. Schmidt double team, nearly lost it. Gives it off to Owen Dick. Now inside and up. And the shot is no good there from O'Flanagan. And it's rebounded by Stanley. And he will try and work it up the court, and I believe they're going to get Owen Dick for the foul. They will. That's his first. He's played a really clean game. Sixteen fouls for both teams. As Brian Moss will give it off to Kieran. Now inside to Jordan Moss. Jordan Moss has it stolen away by Schmidt. And Schmidt will travel. So Schmidt travels on that one, and it'll go the other way. 5:30 to go. 96-60 is the score. Rush City with the lead. Stanley goes inside to Brian Moss. Shot is up, no good. I think this foul going to go against Rush City. It will. That is going to go against UTEC, his first. Team 7th. And now at the line is Brian Moss. Shot is up, and oh, it goes in and out. Rim unkind to him on that one. So Moss missed his first. We'll look for this one, and second one is in. So Brian Moss makes the first. It'll be 96-61. And we get a substitution buzzer there. 96-61, 4 points away from 100. I don't know if we're going to see it, but very possible, as the Tigers have kind of taken their foot off the gas, which rightfully so. They don't need to score any more points. And, oh, this pass was just taken away by Horn. He knew, and he read that one like a book. And now for Moody, and he gives it off to Tara, to Rulin. Rulin drives inside, gives it back out to Jordan Moss for three, no good. And getting the rebound, putting it up and in for two is Moody. And now we get a whistle. And I believe a timeout called here by Hope Academy. So Hope Academy will stop the clock with 4:15 to go. They trail 63-96. Tigers have this one well in hand on their way to their third straight victory. And again, they lost their first one to St. Croix Central, but have since won two straight, and they had to wait all week for this game. And, man, they have come out and put on a show. 96 points here tonight. It's been fun to watch. It's been hard to keep up with that points just because there's been so many points scored, and these teams move up the court quickly. I've had a hard time keeping up with the camera, but do my best. So Tigers will look to inbound. It's going to be Landon Mold who will inbound. Looks for Schmidt, and I think he wanted Anthony Dawson. Gets it to Schmidt anyways. Bounce pass to Mold. Mold quickly up the court. Looks like they are going to go for this 100. And it's up and in for two from William Volk. 98-63. They're definitely trying for 100 now. 98-63. This pass stolen by William Volk. He'll get it off to Landon Mold. Mold off to Volk. Volk trying to drive inside. Gives it off to Mold. 100! Landon Mold will make it 100-63. This ball tipped by Anthony Doss. Stolen away. And Landon Mold in for two. Steal by Anthony Doss. 102-63. That shot is tipped, no good. Rulin gets it back, though, and he'll put it up and in for two. 102-65. The other way goes Anthony Doss for two. 104-65. So there's the 100. So as soon as I said they wouldn't make it to 100, I think they put back in their starters just to say, hey, we're going to get 100 here tonight. And they do. 104-65, 3:09 to go here in the game. Tigers on their way to their third straight victory on the season and looking to move to 3-1 as well as 3-1. And for a moment, for some reason, I thought it was a conference game. It is not. I assure you, it is not. 104-65, Rush City with the lead. A large lead at that. 12 more points added for Anthony Doss. He now has 35 on the evening. Of course, my stats unofficial. I try to keep track best I can, but they are unofficial as well as I try. It is not official. I do not have a statistician. It is all me. Rulin will get the inbound back from Moody, and Rulin has it on the far side, trying to drive inside. Splits to the defenders, gets to the basket. His shot is no good, but he was fouled, so he gets to go to the line to shoot two. 8th team foul here for Rush City. Let's see who they call this one on. I think that one's going to go, it is UTECT. His second, team's 8th. Free throws up and good. 104-66 on the shot from Rulin. It is substitutions here for Hope Academy. Clock continues to roll under 2.5 minutes. 104-66 the score. Rush City, a hefty lead. Ruland. Kind roll on the rim, gets it up and in for two, 67 to 104. And that pass was quick to Landon Mold. Up and in for two, 106-67. Quick the other way, go the Lions. Ruland for three. And Lions will call a timeout. It's 70-106. So another timeout called there by the Lions. That's either their second to last or their last. It is their last. So they're just, a lot of people would say, well, why call a timeout in this situation? They're not going to win. There's under 2 minutes to go, 1:58 to go. Why call a timeout here? Well, first of all, you want to get your guys as much time on the court as you possibly can because these minutes mean something, especially when you get into playoffs. These minutes mean a lot to these players, and as well as these guys, again, you don't know when your next game is going to come. Yes, it is on the schedule, and yes, that's when you're supposed to play, but it is the winter sports season. We could have another week like this week where they may not get to play till Friday, or they may not get to play at all. It's so unpredictable with the weather. You just never know what the next game could hold. So you want to get these guys as many minutes as they can, again, because these minutes will mean something moving forward because they could very well, they will be in the playoffs, and these minutes could help them in the playoffs just kind of learn and get more time on the court. They can try and figure things out. It's still early in the season. Teams are still kind of trying to figure out their true identity and who they got and who they've got where. And as this inbound is going to be stolen by Brian Moss. Oh, how's no foul called there? They're going to get a late foul call. Brian Moss was fouled there, and it's going to be a late. No, they're going to get this on Jordan Moss. The 8th team foul for Hope Academy. Interesting. Brian Moss was definitely fouled, but they do not agree. So Owen Dick will go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1, 1:40 to go, and the clock is ticking. I believe it's that 30-point margin, or it's 25, something like that, in the second half where the clock will roll. Dick's first one, no good. Rebounded there by Kieran. Quickly up the court, and this ball nearly stolen away by UTEC, and unfortunately it will go out of bounds, so it will stay with Hope Academy as we dip to 1:05 left. Kieran will inbound to Brian Moss. Moss nearly lost it. Manages to hold on to it. Drives inside. Shot is up and no good. Rebounded there by Jamison Wood. Gives it off on the far side to O'Flanagan. That shot is up, no good. Rebounded by Owen Dick. His shot is up, no good. And rebounded again by Owen Dick. Shot is up. This time it falls. How many rebounds till it falls in? Apparently 2. 108-70. Under 30 seconds to go. Kieran with it. Gets it off now to Stanley, who had an open 3 opportunity, but it was a long one. Ruland trying to make some defenders miss. Gives it to Kieran. Kieran drives inside. Shot is up. No good. Rebound there by UTEC. And Rush City will go up the court to Owen Dick to UTEC. And they'll probably just hold. No, Dick going to try and get to 110. That's not going to happen. And there is the final buzzer. So the Tigers, a huge victory in this one over Hope Academy. 108-70. We'll take a commercial break, and when we come back, I'll recap this game, let you know what's coming up next week for Rush City, as well as try and give you an idea what's coming up next week for us. You're listening to boys basketball here on 106.5 FM, AM 1350 WCMP.
It's time to start pushing snow. Sorry, just the messenger. Thankfully, Minnesota Equipment in Isanti has affordable machines to do the heavy lifting. Any size property. Toro and Aaron's walk behind snow blowers. Oh, you got land, huh? How about John Deere lawn and garden tractors? Or a compact utility tractor? Minnesota Equipment has them in stock. Snow removal doesn't have to be backbreaking. Not if you get into Minnesota Equipment. Highway 65 in Isanti. Or visit minnesotaequipment.com.
Most Americans do not have a proper will or estate plan in place. Many of you listening have been putting off that important task for a long time. Stop waiting and contact Spear & Swanson today. Spear & Swanson can help you put together a tight legal estate plan to make sure the assets you've been working so hard to obtain get passed on to your loved ones in the way that best fits you. Spear & Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-629-7586. That's 320-629-7586.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. But you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franzen Bank and Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride, like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franzen Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzenbank.com/get there. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Choose the right divorce attorney. Spear & Swanson will make sure the judge knows your side of the story. Let them help you with your divorce, custody, child support, harassment, or orders for protection. They also handle DWIs and other legal matters. The right divorce attorney does make a difference. That's why you need to choose Spear & Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-620-7586.
The mushroom melt is back at A&W. How does this sound? Sautéed seasoned mushrooms and onions with melted Swiss cheese on your choice of a juicy burger or grilled chicken. Then add golden French fries and a medium soft drink. It's the mushroom melt and fries combo at A&W. Now, top it off with a classic A&W root beer float featuring vanilla soft serve and made fresh root beer, all in a frosty mug. Or how about the A&W root beer freeze? Signature combos and delicious treats always at your local A&W restaurant in Pine City.
No appointment? No problem. Injuries and feeling ill don't always happen during normal business hours. That's why Wellia Health has urgency services open 7 days a week. Urgency Services in Pine City offers the care you need when you need it. Hours are now 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. No need to call or make an appointment. Just stop in. When tomorrow isn't soon enough and normal business hours just won't do, you can count on Wellia Health to be there for you. Live life well at Wellia Health.
Back here on WCMP 106.5 FM, AM 1350, of course, streaming live with video online at WCMPradio.com. Your Rush City Tigers get a huge victory over the Hope Academy Lions, 108-70. It was a slow start for the Tigers. If you watch the beginning of this game, you wouldn't think that it was the fast start that it was, or the slow start that it was for Rush City. You might be saying to yourself, well, that was definitely a quick start for them, but that was not the case, as Rush City did get off to a slow start and were down by about 4 to Rush City. But as the game went along, the Tigers were able to pick everything up and just move at a rapid pace. Now, the Lions did keep pace for a little bit as the Tigers were running up and down the court, but it wasn't long before the Tigers kind of ran the Lions. I don't want to say they ran them out of gas, but that's kind of what it seemed like. They ran them out of gas, so to speak, and Rush City was able to pull away slowly but steadily, and then here in the second half, they just had to build on their lead as the Tigers take the victory 108-70. They led almost by 20 there at the second half. I think it was 63-48, excuse me. But it was a good game here for the Rush City Tigers. Again, leading the way for them was Anthony Doss with 35 points, 23 of those coming in the first half. Then Landon Mold, he exploded here in the second half, and that's due to a lot of fast break opportunities. And him just kind of, him and Anthony Doss reverse roles here in the second half. Doss in the first half, he would kind of sit back near the backcourt on defense, and then when they got a rebound or Hope Academy made a shot, he'd just go to the front court, sit there and wait for the pass. That's kind of what Landon Mold did here in the second half as he ends the game with 30 points, 20 of them coming in the second half. 17 for Braden Root, and then as we go down the line, 7 for Owen Dick and Matthew Kempf. He did not see, I don't think, any time here in the second half, so hopefully he's okay. Hopefully he didn't get injured or anything. Maybe just he had to sit, so hopefully he's able to come back sooner rather than later. 4 points for both William Volk and Nolan Stepp. 2 points for Landon Utecht and Dakota Schmidt, and those are your scores for the Rush City Tigers, as again they take the victory here in this one, 108-70. Unofficially, those are the stats. 8 rebounds for Owen Dick. He led the team. 5 for Root, Doss, and Mold, as well as Schmidt. 7 steals would lead the team with Landon Mold. 6 for Dakota Schmidt. They had 19 total, 9 in the first half, 10 in the second half. Steals-wise, we're talking about 8 fouls in the first, 8 in the second. That leads to 16 total. Then on the other side for the Hope Academy Lions, leading the way for them was Zachary Ruland with 29 points, 17 for Christopher Keys, 12 for Brian Moss. Leading the way rebound-wise was Gideon Horn with 10 of them. They had 6 steals in the second half, 8 in the first for 14 total. They had 24 total fouls, give or take, 16 in the first, 8 in the second half. So it was a tough one here for Hope Academy, as again, they got off to the quick start but just couldn't keep up with Rush City, and Rush City looks like a team who's going to push the pace this season, whether they're scoring or not. So it looks like, and I'm not saying this in a bad way, but it looks like they're a team that is going to be quick up and down the court, scoring or not. Now, that can work really well for you, or it can be disaster, because if you're moving up the court that quick and you're not scoring, you're giving the other team way too many opportunities to score. But if you are scoring like the Tigers did tonight, there's not too many people who are going to beat you in this type of game. So the Tigers, man, they look like a team that is built for a very long postseason. They can maybe push themselves to deep into the playoffs, but of course we'll have to wait and see. Of course, they still got to play a bunch of teams, but this is a good game for them here tonight, and hopefully they will have a long postseason, as well as that's what we hope for all of our local teams. We want all of our local teams to do well in the postseason. Unfortunately, not all of them can make it to state, which is unfortunate. That'd be cool if they all could, but unfortunately not all of them can, so we wish them the best of luck throughout the rest of the regular season, because it has just started. It has just started, so we've got a long ways to go, and I am super, super, super excited for what the rest of the regular season holds for all of our local teams. I want to thank all of you for tuning in here tonight. Of course, if you aren't tuning in, we don't have a reason to come out and broadcast these games, so thanks so much for tuning in here tonight, whether you were watching on our YouTube via our website at WCMPradio.com. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube to make sure you stay up to date with all the games that we broadcast. Of course, thanks so much to all of our fine sponsors. Thanks so much to all of them. If it weren't for them, we wouldn't be able to come out here and broadcast any games, so thanks so much to all of our fine sponsors that sponsor the broadcast. Again, the final here in Rush City, the Tigers 108, the Hope Academy Lions 70. I want to thank all of you for tuning in. Thanks to all of our fine sponsors. Stay tuned to the morning shows on KBEK and WCMP for your local sports updates on KBEK with Rockin' Robin Riley at 7:30 and 8:30, and on 100.9 FM with Joshua Miron at 7:45 and 8:45. You can catch the local sports updates there. You can hear the update from this game and all the other games around the local listening area, as well as some regional sports. Again, the final here in Rush City, the Tigers 108, the Lions 70. I want to thank you all again for tuning in. Thanks so much. Thanks to all the fine sponsors. Remember to be kind to everyone. You never know what someone is going through, and your kindness could truly make their day. The final once more, the Rush City Tigers 108, the Hope Academy Lions 70. For WCMP, I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. Have a great rest of your night and a fantastic weekend. Rush City Tigers 108, the Hope Academy Lions 70. For WCMP, I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. Have a great rest of your night and a fantastic weekend.